Alright, slick. Medieval Druidism. So, fall of Druids. Fall of Celtic paganism, really. Bardism continues on. Bards existed apart from the Druidic colleges, sometimes in their own colleges. And eventually, most of them became Christianized monks. And such is responsible for the creation of the Book of Kells, which is a Welsh translation of the Gospels in illuminated Celtic lettering artwork. Colbrin is another example of preservation of lore. This was a time, when they say things weren't written down and so forth. This was a time after the destruction of all the writings and the libraries and the groves and the sacred places. The bards were seeking to really kind of keep their tradition alive, to preserve it through artwork and symbolism and sacred texts. And the fusion of the Celtic and the Christian mythologies erupts into this new form of Bardic Druid, the Coldi. And these folk occupy Ireland and parts of Britain, and a short time have a stronghold in Kildare. In the 13th century, another group of revivalists emerge in Gaul, but at that time it's called France, and they were known as the Cathars. And this is a flavor of Druidic revivalism, or the underground, which claimed to know a secret path in which to return to the Golden Age, secrets of enlightenment, and so forth. And the Cathars also took some of their teachings and beliefs from dualism of Zoroastrianism, but a key concept to the Cathar tradition was the reintroduction of Gnosticism, and the opposite side almost being agnosticism. We don't really deal with that much here, but there's others online that do. Some principles of Druid could easily fit into either of these philosophies, though. Gnostics believe that knowledge would be received through inspiration and revelation, especially in matters of spirituality and metaphysics. And the agnostics really don't believe that the nature of anything beyond what we perceive could be understood whatsoever. Agnosticism is almost like a conscience religion. The Cathars had a powerful stronghold in France, which was once powerful to the Druids, the Celts as well. And then for the second time the church sought to destroy these folk, and few survived. But luckily things don't die out completely. 100 years later, the surviving lineage of the Cathar tradition becomes famous as the Knight Templar, and they learned of their past and openly rebelled against the church once the church began to claim that they were heretics and whatnot. And their society, as lore suggests, was led by almost like a deity or interdimensional being known as Baphomet, the horned god. The Druids also possess a Dark Lord of the Forest, the Dagda, the Crononos. This energy was usually conceived of as having antlers, and we find similar in Greek mythology with Pan. these were all considered symbols of malevolence later, as were dragons by the church. And we cannot be certain who or what Baphomet is at this point in our study of Druidism, because it comes up later in the medieval factions. But the headdress of the goat was thought to have been worn by the underground leader of the clan. It could be possible that Baphomet was the name of the leader, or title or role, possibly a powerful Druidic sorcerer, or even an interdimensional being. Mythology hints that Baphomet's still alive or sleeping underground somewhere. Some even allude to sleeping underground in Paris. I find an interesting parallel in British mythology, the archetype of Merlyn, wild man of the forest, said to be sleeping under Stonehenge. But long story short, the Templars were almost completely annihilated by the church, and so 0 for 3. These little factions are often sought to be separated from the lineage of Druidry and whatnot underground, but modern Druidism can be traced back to the first official Druid revival order in modern times, which occurred in England in the year 1717, which is interesting because it's the same year and birthplace of modern Freemasonry. It would take over 200 years for a Druid organization to emerge in America. In the 1960s, the Reformed Druids of North America actually erupted in my home state, in the Midwest. So, medieval Druidism and the rebirth, Reconstructionism.